Hello everyone. So in this video, I'm going to talk about my tournament experience for the most recent EGC tournament that's still happening at this very moment. I think Recon and the Mista are at it right now in the finals. I unfortunately fell in third place. You can see the standings right here. I came third, Kavath came fourth, and then you have a bunch of other players at the bottom. Honestly, it's not a bad result considering that I wasn't even going to play in this tournament. Like if you look at my message history right here. Like I told the tournament administrator, I'm too busy. I don't think I can play. And then he said, you still have time to think about it. So, okay. So I thought about it, and you guys might hate me for saying this, but there was like a prize just for participating. So I'm like, okay, let me just get that participation prize, see what I can do my best. And then, maybe I can squeeze out a win here and there and do a little bit there. So essentially I was just playing to get that participation prize. Even if I don't practice that much, I think I can still do pretty well. So maybe I can get a little higher, but that was my initial goal. And then going into it, you can kind of see I had a really rocky start. I started off playing with Mini Yeti, and I almost lost this first series right here. It was 2-1 for Mini Yeti, because after I sent this message to Chum, I think a week later is when I actually started playing. So I only had maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of practice. I haven't played in a long time just because work has just been hectic recently. So you can see that I almost dropped it here. And then I got completely destroyed by Kavath in the upper bracket. And the moment I got 3-0'd, that's when like the old switch kind of like lit up under me, right? So as soon as I got 3-0'd, I couldn't think about anything else but getting back into the losers bracket and coming back up on top. So I remember I was at a family party, and the entire time I was at the family party, the only thing that I can think about while everyone was making conversation and stuff is those games that I lost. And obviously that's not healthy. I know that, but that's just the way I think I operate. So then anyways, I got dropped down to the losers bracket at that point. And then I started a very, very good run. I beat Nullus 3-1, beat Mosca 3-0, beat Chemo, very good friend, 3-1, and Kavath also. I got redemption there versus Kavath. All of these games I felt like I played very, very well. And then today, I couldn't sleep. This happened to me. This happens to me every tournament. I don't personally know why. I didn't feel nervous. I didn't feel stressed or like anxious or anything, but I just couldn't sleep. I went to sleep at 12 o'clock and I stayed awake the entire night. Maybe like I drifted off for like 20, 30 minutes, but essentially I was awake. And I just couldn't make good decisions here. I need to figure out, like this never used to happen to me. I really got to figure out what I can do. Maybe take like, I don't even think melatonin works because I've tried that before as well. I know some players like smoke weed and stuff, but I don't smoke or do any of that. So I don't want to do it. But yeah, this kind of like, even though I didn't want to play initially, I was like, let me just drop out. I don't have time. Then when I lost 3-0 to Kavath, I'm like, okay, I really want to redeem myself. I don't want to lose 3-0 to anybody, right? So I climbed my way back in, and then this one right here, yeah, this one I honestly didn't play like myself. I played really bad. Like, well, you'll see in a second. I'm going to go over the games. But yeah, overall, that's a little bit of a summary. Now, I think Mista and Recon are playing. I think it's going to be like a 4-0 for Mista or 4-1 for Recon. They're practice partners. So like Recon, I think, has a mental block versus Mista. And also like when Recon plays versus other players, like when Recon plays versus me, Mista's kind of coaching him, I think, in terms of the draft and the strategies, something that I think Recon benefits a lot from. I also do the same thing. So just being real, I asked my friends Tunison, I asked him some questions, Keto. I asked Keto, a lot of different people I asked Chemo. I take different opinions, but nobody has as much game knowledge as the Mista, right? So when Recon gets information from the Mista, it's significantly more valuable than I think than me getting it from even 4 other people. But to be honest with you, I think the player that has comparable levels of knowledge to the Mista is actually Chemo, because he's told me a lot of good things recently. Naural was helping me too, but his stuff doesn't really work for me for some reason. Keto has a unique playstyle, so does Tunison. But Chemo's playstyle is very similar to mine. They were both macro-oriented players, so the stuff he says actually is a lot more valuable to me in any way. So it's normal. It's not like it's cheating or anything. Everyone's asking for advice during tournament days, on draft days, right? So I asked Kavoth as well. I just ran some things by him, but I realized there's some players that have more of synergy with you, and those players are probably better to ask rather than get information from all these other people. So yeah, so it's essentially that's kind of why I think Recon also loses to the Mista too, because in the finals the Mista's not there to coach him, whereas I'm pretty sure he coached him in all of his other sets, right? Maybe not versus Rappel, because I think Rappel's training under Mista too. So yeah, this is going to be, I think it's going to be a sweep, but who knows, right? I do think Recon played actually quite well, but overall, I think Mista's a little bit better than, not a little bit, a lot better in terms of game knowledge, and skill-wise, they're probably around maybe the same. And then moving on to the games, and at the very end of this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the overall gameplay. Like I would say, like how, like the state of the game, rather, in my opinion, right? I'm also going to do a tier list after this. So this game was really tilting actually, because this was the easiest win of my life, and I essentially lost, right? So I knew what he was going to do, because he knows I'm going to go for a TC. So I know that, since I know that he knows that I'm going to go for a TC, he's going to come up with some sort of way to punish the TC. So all I have to do is go for the TC, fake the TC, make him do his little build, counter it, which I think I did pretty well, and then take the TC and I'll be ahead. And all of that worked to my advantage at this point. I'm just going to speed up, and you'll see very shortly. So he went up with Bast, and yeah, he's going to click in now. So he's kind of metagaming me. He knows exactly what I'm going to do, just because it's my playstyle. This is like what I like to do. So he went Sphinx immediately, and he's going to send it right to the second town center, right? He even has it obelisked, right? So he knows I'm coming. And then he throws it down to Rax as soon as he can as well. And now it's going to be Spearman and the Sphinx. But Kimo actually said something very interesting. He said that you can still take this town center if you take your Caladria, you heal your villagers. I'm not sure actually, because maybe the Sphinx can just like break it down. But who knows? That's what he said. So that's something to think about, I guess, right? I'm going to share some really good pointers in this game. I think you're all going to benefit from it. But here, I know it's coming, kind of knew it's coming. I think he should have maybe thrown in some Axemen rather than make Spearmen, but he wanted to get on my side as soon as possible. I don't know why he made so many spears, right? So I made a Cairo, and then I made some Murmillo, defend that a little bit. And as soon as I realized, okay, I can probably take this now, I went and I jumped and I took it. And he didn't really have anything to really contest me at that point, because he already used his Eclipse, right? So right now, I think I'm in a terrific position. Oh, he uses Eclipse now. But yes, essentially, you can see I'm in an insanely good position. I have 2 town centers. He has absolutely nothing. He's just pumping out army from the Raxes and making Sphinxes. And just pretty much getting ready to all in me, right? So I know it was coming. I knew that he might all in this TC. So what I did was I actually took most of my villagers from here and I moved them and I put them here. So I took like 5 villagers, I think. So even if he all-ins this TC, which he probably could with this army here, I think. Maybe, actually, I don't know if he can fully do it, but because he's going to try to, if he's going to try to take down this TC, he's going to attack from this angle. And if he attacks from this angle, then I attack with Kairos from this angle and I repair it. So he's going to lose a lot of stuff in the process. He might still be able to do it, but now he doesn't have Eclipse, so most likely he can't. But if he could do it, I mean, I personally wouldn't care anyways, because I already moved all my villagers away. And I have a pretty decent army at this point. So now you can see that I'm up 70 villagers to 44, which is crazy already. But he has 113 military pop to 77. All I need to do at this point is scout his army, which I did. I saw there was nothing but spearmen, right? He has 5 axemen, which is not much. And then all I need to do is just go camp here, maybe right over here. Let him take down this palace. But even more simply than that, I need to wait for my upgrades to finish. So you can see this fight happened here. And the fight was actually, I think even though I wasn't ready, he caught me kind of off guard. Right here, you can see, I'm going to slow it down a little bit. He caught me off guard completely. And I didn't micro well either. I should have been microing on these spears. But you can see, look in the queue, right? I didn't finish this upgrade. This is a pretty massive upgrade. And at the same time, I'm not even full pop here. So what I needed to do was just wait here, go full pop, finish my upgrade, and then get like make all of these guys heroes, or make most of them heroes, right? And then these Sphinx are going to do absolutely nothing. But instead, he hit me at the absolute perfect time, right? When this upgrade wasn't finished. He also, like, honestly, it's because my army positioning was a little bit bad. I should have probably been here. But yeah, he got me at the right time. Let's just put it that way. So you can see that he cleaned me up here. And even though I'm massively ahead, I'm like 85 villagers to 50, right? I have 2 town centers where he doesn't even have, he's only on 1. But he just hit me at the absolute perfect time, and that's all she kind of wrote. At this point, I'm pretty much dead. So talking a little bit, I said I was going to talk about the state of the game. I think this is something I still don't really enjoy, how every fight becomes, almost every win condition is either the second gold mine, or this next win condition is getting mythic and using your god power, right? That's kind of how it is right now in Age of Mythology. And not that it's, well, I mean, to some people they might enjoy it, but I feel like it's not truly an RTS game at that point, right? You already know there's either one of two things that you're going to do to win the game, and you're kind of just like doing all these other like filler things in between while you get to that position, right? Like, gone are the days where you're fighting on different points of the map, where you're trying to siege your opponent's base. Those things I don't really think are that prevalent anymore in today's day and age, right? I think back in the day we would have lots of fighting all across the map and stuff like that, in the older version of Age of Mythology, right? Let me see if I can pull something up for you guys right now. But in any case, right? So like, whoops. So in any case, like, now I'm like, okay, he has a massive army. He's just trying to block me off of gold, and he's just gonna A move and kill me. So like, the only thing I can really do at this point is get to implode, right? So that's kind of my goal. Just get to implode and see if that can be enough. But honestly, it really wasn't. So let's just gonna fast forward this a little bit. And while I do that, I'm gonna look for something. I don't know how accurate this is, actually. I didn't watch it, but this is the PK tournament that we played on Age of Mythology back in the day. Let me just zoom in on this 1 second. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing the right screen. Right, so like, I don't know if this is the right game, but you can see how much action there was in this game, right? It wasn't just sit at the gold mine and wait for your opponent to move there and just A move your army. Like, there was multiple points of contention. I'm going to just show you guys. Look, he's pushing at the bottom here. I'm pushing at the top with siege rams. You know, his fights there. There's fights here. There's a little bit of a scuffle in the top right here as well. You know, you can see, look, he's pushing this side. I'm pushing this side. There's more strategy involved, right? That's, maybe I should probably get this. I'll show you guys this in another video, but here, all there is basically deny him off of gold. If you can't deny him off of gold, then you go mythic and get your power spike. It's been like this since the launch, right? Nothing's really changed, but there are some games that I really enjoy. For example, this game that we played right now, and I think you guys are going to love this game. This game was really good. We played a game, Poseidon versus Set. This is the game before. And this game was actually, in my opinion, the way AOM should be played, right? Maybe not. There are still things that this can be improved here, but I found this fun, and I think most people would enjoy watching this a lot more because there was more action across the map. Even though we're still bottled up in our base because all the resources are in the base, there was a ton of raiding, which you'll see very soon. And you'll see very soon. So I'm trying to push, I'm trying to see if I can get any picks, whereas he's trying to raid. There's also benefit here is if I'm situated here, then I can see when his raids are coming, right? So I didn't see this one, but he came and did a raid off of this back end right here. And then I'm also trying to raid him on the bottom side as well. You see, we didn't jump to heroic or mythic yet. We're doing a little bit of raiding and stuff, and you can see how much more exciting the game is because I'm trying to do damage to him. He's trying to do damage to me. I'm trying to, repel his raids. I'm trying to catch his units that are out of position. There's a lot of more strategy when it comes to army movement in this case. And he got a really good raid off with his Anubites because he saw that my army was chasing his units here. So he went straight down the middle. And you can see that all this is real strategy in my opinion. He sent a ton of spears here because once again, my units were out of position here. This is where I feel like a lot of strategy is actually being invoked. Whereas the games right now, a lot of them, not every matchup, right? Some matchups are fine, but a lot of the matchups you just get to Mythic Age and you win, right? Or you stop them from getting gold and you win. But going back on this, I actually screwed up big time because I was supposed to go bronze in this game. I accidentally went curse. My goal, and you can see like this is the stuff that sleep, like lack of sleep kind of does to you because I knew exactly what I was going to do. This is the strategy that my friend Tunison actually gave me, which was I was going to go bronze and I was going to hit him with the timing push here, right? With all my units. But I accidentally went curse. So now I was already in a bad position. I'm just not like not aware, but I'm not, what's the word? I'm not zoned in. If you don't get a good night's sleep before the tournament, I think this just happens every time to me. But in any case, I also, like you're going to see very shortly, like I took a fight, which after I caught these units, I think I thought I trimmed his numbers down so I can take a fight here, but his army was absolutely massive, right? Took a fight here. I still have a lot more myth units, so I can kind of do well, and I have counter units, Hippaspis, right? But he has Plague of Serpents, and he has Ancestors, which I completely forgot I have Ceasefire. Once again, if I casted Ceasefire here and I move out, then I think I'm perfectly fine. But instead, I completely forgot I had Ceasefire, and as a result, my army just got cleaned up. So the game was kind of over at this point. He had 100 military to 45, right? He's sieging my... Then I finally realized, wait, I have Ceasefire. What am I doing? I was holding on to it for this long. And yeah, so then like I kind of climbed my way back in this game. I think I was pretty much dead. But you can see, look, there's so much outplay potential now. There's no jumping to Mythic and casting a God Power. Since the way this matchup is, and the way the map is as well, you can see there's fighting all over the map. So you can actually use your skill to kind of win in these circumstances, right? This is like, if it's a knowledge-based game, you're not going to be able to win with just skill, right? Even though knowledge is a skill in of itself. But here, I had a Petropolis putting pressure on him. I saw his army, you try to counter his army movements. I did a really good cleanup here. And I'm back into this game, even though at one point I was kind of dead. And I also think like people are sleeping on Poseidon. I don't think Poseidon is a weak god at all. A lot of people have been saying that Greek is kind of meh. And I also do think they're kind of meh compared to like China and stuff. And even to Norse to an extent. But like Poseidon is one of the civs where you can actually really outplay your opponent and you can win. If you need a little bit more skill, I think. But it's one of those civilizations, I think. So now it's basically, both of us have low ecos, so we're not jumping to Mythic at this point. And since gold is forward, we're actually fighting over it, right? Or, I mean, we're fighting in different positions on the map. And look, also, if the reason why we're fighting in different positions on the map is because now there's gold here, there's a back gold here, and this side of the map is opened up as well, right? So there's not one point of contention. If there's only one point of contention, then all the fights would happen right here. But since there's 3 different points of contention, you have one here, you have one around here, and you have one right here, he has to constantly rotate his army to find the best possible angles to attack, whereas I would have to rotate my army to counter his, or I can do the same thing as well, right? So you can see, like, that's, in my opinion, that makes a more fun game when you actually have more than one objective, right? When you have like, maybe you have one objective, but you have like 5 other mini objectives. That's, the more objectives you have on the map, the more areas where you can raid your opponent or find where areas to do damage. That's where I think people are going to enjoy it a lot more. If you're just playing this one game where you're both trying to fight over a gold mine over here or something like that, then it's just going to be my army versus your army, my myth units versus your myth units, and my god powers versus your god powers. It's going to be not that much skill expression. But this one was a very fun game, and it went on for quite some time. Mostly because another thing you guys got to remember is these god powers that both of these civilizations have now. You have a tornado, which is okay. And then you have a earthquake, which is okay. They're not, you know, broken god powers per se. They're very reasonable to an extent, right? I don't think they're overpowered. No one's going to say earthquake is overpowered or tornado. Tornado could be overpowered, but in most cases it's not. So that's also why this game was a lot more fun, because there was no broken god powers. Everything was reasonably balanced. So I think another thing to think about and to talk about, a discussion for all of us, is should all god powers be toned down, right? If you have toned down god powers, then it becomes more of a strategy game. If you have really strong god powers, then it becomes more of a knowledge based game. How can I, use my god power to win? How can I get to my god power to win? Stuff like that. So I'm just going to speed this up to show you guys the ending here, but it was quite a fun game. Earthquake, I attacked here, but he cleaned it up. And then he started pushing on this side, and I defended. He got some really nice towers up, which kind of prevented me from, killing his army. See, now the thing is, like, if I was playing on my game, I would know immediately, okay, I need Petropolis so I can siege this position down. But instead, I kept fighting with just my army and no siege units for so long. So it was pretty bad overall, I think. This game could have been over way faster if I just had some siege units in the back right here. But yeah, that's my bad. You live and you learn, right? But I mean, it's not even a live and learn thing. I knew that was the right play. My brain didn't process it fast enough in game. A lot of times in tournaments, it becomes more of a conditioning thing rather than a skill based thing, I would say. Well, conditioning is a skill in of itself as well, but I think it's if you bring your A game, like if you're well rested, well nutritioned, you're in good shape and stuff like that, then you're going to be able to play your game. But if you don't have those other things, and you have like work stress lingering on over your head and stuff like that, and you're busy, you didn't get a good night of sleep, then you're not going to be able to perform at your optimal level. Here, I think I was probably performing at like 70%. Then again, like maybe Recon is performing at 60%. I'm not saying that that's the reason why I lost. I'm just saying for me personally, I wasn't able to perform at my best level in these games. And this has happened to me more than once now. Like this happens almost every time I get to a tournament finals. The last tournament I played, I think, let me just pull it up here. I think it's open. So let's just see. Let's take a look and see how the games are going right now. Yeah, it's 2-0 for Mista. This is going to be a clean sweep because they practice together. Mista helps him a lot in terms of his strategy and stuff. So like, it's hard to beat your teacher kind of thing, right? In order to beat your teacher, you gotta kind of do your own thing, learn your own game, and have your own style. But if you're playing a mini version of your teacher, then you're never going to beat him. You're just going to have a mental block, right? It's going into my wiki for Wikipedia for a sec. Like the last tournament I think I played, let's go and see. Yeah, so this happened as well. In Genesis Retold, I came second place, right? It's the same thing. Saturday I slept like I couldn't sleep, and then Sunday I couldn't sleep, which is the finals day, and then I performed horribly. And then the tournament after that, I was playing from a hotel room in Panama. I didn't care if I lost or won that one. I think it was Wrath of the Gods. Yeah. This one, I mean, I don't. That one I just lost because that was just playing from a hotel room in Panama. And the one before that, Genesis Retold, I think. Not Genesis Retold. Sorry, the Red Bull one. This one, I feel like here I just didn't have the game knowledge necessary to win. Like I lost this one to Vortex, I think. And the reason why I lost that is because I was more focused on making like YouTube videos. And I don't regret that at all, because as a result of that work I put in, I think I was able to build this community, like you guys watching those videos right now. Because like this is during the tournament, right? And I was posting a video, I think 1 or 2 a day. And these videos were taking me 3-4 hours. So like there's no shame, I think, in losing here. It's also mostly because I just didn't have the game knowledge necessary to win. But yeah, I mean, what is the point of saying all this? The point of saying all this is mostly kind of like just my own personal reflection on what I can do better and worse. Improve for the next one. It's also a way to get it kind of off my chest, because it's just sometimes it's good talking about things and just letting it all out. So I felt like, honestly, I played very well up until today. I was looking like 3-1 Nullis, 3-0 Mosca, 3-0 Chemo, 3-0 Kavoth. Today was the only day I couldn't sleep properly. and I just played like a wreck. So yeah, you live and you learn. I still need to figure out something for the next one. I don't really know when the next one is going to be, but yeah, I can't. I'm hoping we have Red Bull. I don't know if how many of you guys have remember that or remembered the Red Bull from when the game was launched, but I hope we have this, and I hope it's bigger than last time. I think last time was only 2 players, but I hope we get like a 8-player Age of Mythology LAN. So, I mean, if anyone in the community has influence, definitely reach out to the Red Bull organizers and see if we can get this game, included for Red Bull, because I think it would be really fun to have another LAN. Anyways, that was me rambling. I know a lot of you guys, especially on Reddit, don't like it, but I know a lot of you do like it as well, because it's more real rather than me scripting everything and then just giving you a filtered version of me, right? Let me know if you guys have any comments and then I'm going to start posting some more videos soon too. As soon as I catch up on my work, which is piled up on because I've been leaving at 5 every day. So yeah, just let me know if you guys have any comments, questions, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.